What inspires me personally are people who volunteer because they want to help the children. It's not going to do anything for their careers. They simply say that in this day and age, we have children who are being trafficked, children who are going hungry. It's stupid, and I want to do something. That inspires me. What I've been told by so many volunteers is that it's changed their lives, that it was the most meaningful experience of their life. You have to believe in the innate goodness of human beings wanting to take care of each other. And take your life lessons and share those and grow from that, and it'll become stronger. That's what IHF is. I'm Carol Sasaki of International Humanity Foundation. IHF became the international branch to the work that I began in the early 80s working with children. IHF started as SAVE, Stop Abuse Via Education, and then in 2000 it became its own entity, International Humanity Foundation. We have a small branch in Australia, but mainly USA, Thailand, Kenya, and Indonesia. We're an all-volunteer organization, and the money donated goes to the projects only. We don't have any high-paid directors. In fact, all our directors are volunteer. So we really don't have administrative costs. The money a sponsor gives to a child goes to that child. If it's given to the orphanage, it goes to the orphanage. We think there are enough of us who will volunteer enough of our time that the money can go directly to the children at this point. But it's why we need your help. It's why we need volunteers. The mission of IHF is to educate your poorest of poor and to educate your educated, not only about your poor, but by your poor. We constantly have to emphasize non-religious, non-political. If our children are Muslim, they're in there and they're singing their prayers 5 times a day, and that's what they hold dear. Our children in Banda Aceh, we lost many in the tsunami, and they need those prayers. They love their prayers, and we don't touch that. If the children are Buddhist, we don't touch that. If the children are Christian, we don't touch that. We don't convert, we don't change, we don't say don't do. That's respected. The culture that is there is respected in all programs. Keeping focus on the fact that we are wanting to educate not just the poorest of the poor children around the world, but also educate the educated about who are the poorest, we have the following programs. We have classes. Classes are for children who are in school or not in school. If they're in school, the school is of such poor quality, they need additional learning in order to be able to go to a middle school or high school. Even if they call it free, you have to pay for a uniform or you're not allowed to go to school. You have teacher fees. They want you to pay for your desk. They want you to pay for ceremonies. They end up needing to have money in order to go. They're also able to interact with children of various backgrounds and people from around the world through these classes. TEP is the education program, and that's paying directly, not for our classes, but directly for their uniform, for their transportation if they live too far to walk. It pays those fees. The education program then is to help children go to the schools that exist. The classes that IHF runs, the classes we run in slums, out in tribal, nomadic areas, those classes are for children who are in school or not in school at our centers. Then we have Famine Relief. We're bringing food in during drastic times, during dry season, during where there's pronounced malnutrition. We have survival program. The survival program are buying the livestock, the goats that provide the milk if it's out in very dry area, chickens, cow, unless it's in too hot of an area, then it's a camel. And that educates the educated also. You're buying a goat for a family, you're paying what we pay at auction for that goat. You learn how much does a goat cost that keeps that family going. We run orphanages, yes, and I don't believe in orphanages. They exist as families, not as institutions. They're the happiest kids. All our volunteers say that they've never worked in orphanages where the kids are happier. And they're the cutest, most adorable, smartest, intelligent, most loving children that you will ever find. They're also incredible leaders. They have a great sense of humor. And I think that it's because we run as a family. We're literally a family. We always have them interacting with the tribes they come from, the communities they come from, and truly to become leaders and give back to the communities they come from. Let their life pain and life experience be their expertise and give them the strength for their leadership. Volunteer. It's not something you'll ever forget. It will have impact on your life for the rest of your life. Think of yourself as a journalist. Think of yourself as a student. It'll be honest, it'll be real, and I will learn. That's how I'll go. Go to learn. Don't go to change. And I know that sounds contrary because you're volunteering to help. But you can't help until you learn. So go to learn.